Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Throwdown. I'm Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams. That's Max Fury. This is the week of January 23rd, 2021. And it's time for round two in the first tournament of Who's the GOAT? The four names in this bracket are Goldberg, The Rock, Rey Mysterio, and Finn Balor. And we are going to start it off with Luke. Your argument for Goldberg.
Finn Balor didn't go through.
I'm sorry. Right, I said Rey Mysterio and Finn Balor.
Yeah, Goldberg.
Yeah. Goldberg, The Rock, Stone Cold, and Rey Mysterio. Yes. That's what I meant to say. Luke, your argument starts us off with the first round of this tournament. Who's he got? It's Goldberg, correct?
Goldberg.
All right.
Goldberg.
And your minute on the clock to start with Goldberg starts right now. Actually, let's make this 2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes. Goldberg. Like I said before, unstoppable champion.
Yep.
Greatest streak in professional wrestling. Win-loss record, I should say, in professional wrestling. Yep. So well liked by the fans. They tried to turn him heel in WCW and it wouldn't stick.
That's fair.
Powerful. He's the only person I've ever seen to put the giant up in the jackhammer.
Yeah.
With ease. Was not only WCW's guy, but he was WCW's guy when you had two factions of the NWO plus the Four Horsemen doing faction warfare. It was them versus Goldberg.
Yeah.
He was a man on his own. Never had really an alliance anywhere he went.
No.
It was always Goldberg. Football background. Matches. Like I said, he's wins. He's toppled Hogan. The Rock. He's beat Roddy Piper, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. He beat Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan in the same night for two different championships. The same night. Which, of course, it was given away on free for TV, so everybody got to enjoy it. Yep. It wasn't one of those things where it's like, I won't wrestle unless it's pay-per-view. Goldberg come out every week on free television and performed for his fans because he didn't have to be the Hulk Hogan, I have to be on pay-per-view brother. He didn't have the creative control. Goldberg, man, the myth, the legend. I'm good with that. That's my time.
That's your time.
All right. Very compelling argument. Caleb, tell us why Dwayne Johnson is the greatest of all time.
Damn it.
Okay. All right, I'm starting my time at 250, so I got 450. The Rock, as we said before, not only a quintessential player in the media, but a quintessential player for the wrestling business alone. Look at every single championship he held. Every singles title, with the exception of the United States title, The Rock has held, including both versions of the World Championship. Elevated WCW talents when they came in off of the Invasion by elevating talents like Chris Jericho, The Big Show, and Booker T. And outside of Vince McMahon is Stone Cold's most linear opponent. If your argument is that Stone Cold heralded in the Attitude Era, it can't be made without The Rock. That's just plain and simple. Fast forward. You get into a period where The Rock is no longer in wrestling, makes two separate appearances on Raw in the mid-2000s, elevating their ratings once again by taking time to partner with a talent named Eugene. Returning later on at WrestleMania to team with Mick Foley against Evolution, a legitimate buffer against Evolution as the most formidable force in pro wrestling in the 2000s was that team. But The Rock came back, and again, that means money, that means interest, that means buy rates. Had one of the most realistic feuds with another professional wrestler in John Cena, where they both had the same career paths, where John Cena criticized The Rock enough into goading him to coming back, and then in one of the first main event returns in WrestleMania, walked away with a world title, and then would later lose it again to John Cena the following year. Not only did he come in and do good business for himself, he did good business for the wrestling business and did good business by doing the favor back to John Cena, reestablishing Cena as the top guy that he was. The Rock gives to the wrestling business what no other superstar has ever done. That's both media and exposure and elevates young talent. And I've got fucking 8 seconds, so fuck yourself. The Rock is the GOAT because he's the GOAT. He's also the only guy who can go mic for mic with any other promo in the business.
Cut. I know where my vote lies.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Both really good arguments, and I was I had it right up to the end because you're right. The Rock he can get on the mic
with anyone.
Anytime,
you missed
anywhere,
two
with anyone.
things. But
And
I'm not going to say anything until he makes his decision.
That's the one thing that Goldberg can't do.
Yep.
And so for that point alone, I have to go for The Rock.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I was Goldberg all the way until then.
Are you on the record having said you're smelling what The Rock is cooking?
I do, and it smells like poop in here.
It's like, shit, I'm going to eat some anyway. No, two things that you did miss.
Let's hear it.
One, he didn't hold every singles champ because he was never European champion.
Yes, he was.
No, he was not.
No, I don't. I believe you're right.
Yeah, he was never European champion. The second thing is that you forgot the Hurricane, man.
I did forget that.
When you started talking about Eugene and elevating talent, I was thinking, oh man, the Hurricane.
Yeah.
The Hurricane. Now, because these were both my wins, do you...
No, The Rock was my win.
No, he's talking about this next
match.
Oh.
Do I get to pick who I want to keep?
That's up to him. I'm fine with that.
Do you want Austin or Ray?
I want Austin.
Okay.
Because I see where this tournament's going.
So do I. Hold on. I've got to look up to validate that he was a European champion because I want to make sure I wasn't wrong. Well, I don't care how long this video goes. Let me look this up real quick.
Go ahead.
Because I'm pretty sure he was European champion.
He's Intercontinental champion numerous times. He's never European champion. Never went backwards.
Match of the year, United States Observer, the world champion, six-time Slammy Award winner, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you were right. He wasn't European champion. I could have sworn he was.
When Triple H made fun of the Nation as DX, he was European champion and put IC and black duct tape on the European title.
All right.
Yeah, so they feuded for the IC
So
title.
I'm arguing on behalf of Rey Mysterio?
You got Rey. Now we're going to see who goes first here.
Okay.
All right.
And I won, so I call.
Yes, go.
Heads.
It fell.
Recall. Right. Heads.
It's heads.
Okay. Heads it is. Rey Mysterio. And my time will start in 4, 3,
and go.
Without Rey Mysterio heralding in the era of the cruiserweights, wrestling as we know it with the high flyers would not exist. Rey Mysterio was the top echelon of the cruiserweights in WCW. Carried guys like Juventud Guerrera, Billy Kidman, Eddie Guerrero into the 21st century on broadcast television, and without them, there is no AJ Styles. There is no Samoa Joe. There is no Christopher Daniels, Rob Van Dam, Jerry Lynn. Everything that put ECW and WCW on the map, Rey Mysterio was directly responsible for, which means not only did he elevate ECW and WCW when he was talented there, he also elevated the WWF by making them compete with him as a cruiserweight. One of the only people to seamlessly transition during the invasion period into the WWF. One of the only people who didn't come into the WWF outside of the Radicals that did not have a blemish on their record for something that having had occurred in WCW, such as a stupid angle that WCW threw at them. Every single match he had was athletic, entertaining, and believable. Was the underdog his entire career until he finally got the opportunity to win the WWE Championship. And not only was he WWE Champion and won it against Randy Orton and Kurt Angle in a triple threat match, defended it every single week on SmackDown during his tenure as champion against former champions such as, Kurt Angle, The Big Show, Randy Orton, JBL, John Cena. He defended the WWE title every opportunity he got, because he was that good. He also would go on afterward to win the United States champion and do the exact same thing. Has been numerous tag team champion, has been one of the mainstays, and might I mention, as far as gimmick sales, is the only reason they continue to hire masked wrestlers, because the WWE had the worst habit leading up to the 2000s of unmasking luchadors they hired. Mm-hmm. Rey Mysterio is the only guy they keep doing that for. Why? Because the masks sell to kids, and he is the number one guy in 5 separate international markets to do that.
Time.
Thank you very much.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Very well put.
Correct?
Huh?
Stone Cold, correct?
Yes. Tell me why Stone Cold is the greatest of all time.
And go!
Stone Cold Steve Austin. You go merchandise sales like he was talking about Rey Mysterio. Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of the top merchandise sellers today. He has been retired since 2003. Still, you can't count how many different variations there are of Stone Cold Steve Austin merchandise.
I have one.
So do I.
Also, you can't count the bootleg stuff that has Stone Cold Steve Austin's name on it. He's a talk show host. He's a award-winning podcast host. Yep. Has his own beer. out there, movie star. I mean, he's done pretty much everything that you can do outside of the world of professional wrestling that a professional wrestler can do. On top of the fact, he still comes back when asked. He's a consummate draw. Even if he just comes back to talk on a microphone, if Stone Cold's on Raw, people are watching. That's just how that is. There's no way of getting around that. Now, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the one thing about Austin, WrestleManias, SummerSlams, anything that took place during the time that Stone Cold Steve Austin was there was money. Him and The Undertaker at SummerSlam made SummerSlam watchable pay-per-views. His matches with The Rock at WrestleMania, the 3 times that they met, legendary. He took Scott Hall during Scott Hall's bad period in his life and made a WrestleMania moment with Scott Hall. He's the only man to win 3 Royal Rumble matches. 2 back-to-back. Intercontinental champion a couple times. Heavyweight champion a couple times. Held tag team titles with Mick Foley twice. Single-handedly took the Nation of Domination. Single-handedly went up against Vince McMahon and the corporation. He is
Well done.
thank you. He is a hero of heroes when it comes to the WWE Attitude Era.
Time.
Well put. Well put. Based on those arguments alone,
We both know where this is going.
I really, really, really wanted to say Stone Cold, but based on those arguments, I gotta say Rey.
Boom, bitch!
Wow. Wow.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Wow, well, I know who's winning this tournament.
All right, we got to do a third video. This has to go into video 3 because we're not going to have enough time for us to make this final argument. So stay tuned. Video 3 of round 1 of Who's the GOAT is coming your way. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Email us at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. Like, subscribe. Leave us comments down below what you think about the new tournament format. I'm going to get this right, by God. Follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. Stay tuned. Round 3 coming up.